celebration. We are gathered here this evening to celebrate one of Africa's pearls, to hear about the opportunities it holds, and especially to toast one of its newest ventures, Geproc, a joint venture between the national oil company, GEPETROL, and G3, a consortium of 3 U.S. companies including PetroAfrica, MROS One Stop Shop, and Africa International Piping. I'm your MC this evening. My name is Janine Scott, and I am a board member of PetroAfrica and G3. This evening, you will be hearing about the evolving business environment in Equatorial Guinea and how many of you here present in the business community may be able to join in as well, much like we see with the formation of Geproc. Your Excellency, Mr. Thomas Davis Dickens, the General Counsel of Equatorial Guinea. Ms. Dooney Hebron here with us representing the Honorable Sheila Jackson Lee, the Congressman from Texas 18th District. Senator Rodney Ellis of Texas, who will be joining us shortly. The Honorable Jarvis Johnson, former City Councilman and candidate for State Representative of District 139. Mr. Jose Enzo, I say Jose all the time because I'm a Portuguese speaker. Mr. Jose Enzo, Exploration Manager of GEPETROL and Deputy Managing Director of Geproc. Mr. Alexy Kayembe, Chairman of Geproc and CEO of PetroAfrica. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed if I have unduly missed anybody else. And again, good evening. Welcome to an evening of celebration. We are gathered here this evening to celebrate one of Africa's pearls, to hear about the opportunities it holds, and especially to toast one of its newest ventures, Geproc, a joint venture between the national oil company, GEPetrol, and G3, a consortium of 3 U.S. companies including PetroAfrica, MROS One Stop Shop, and Africa International Piping. I'm your MC this evening. My name is Janine Scott, and I am a board member of PetroAfrica and G3. This evening, you will be hearing about the evolving business environment in Equatorial Guinea and how many of you here present in the business community may be able to join in as well, much like we see with the formation of Geproc. To get this evening started, let me first ask one of Geproc's board members, Mr. John Malone, to bring us greetings on behalf of the JV and its members. John Malone.
Andre, you can sit down. Thanks, Janine. Yes, I'm John Malone. I'm a member of the board of Geproc. My first, probably, experience with Equatorial Guinea started back in 1996 when I worked with a company called Ocean Energy at the time. As some of you may remember, Ocean Energy, together with their partner, made the big Zafiro discovery back, and after that period of time, the great oil boom, as we'll say, in Equatorial Guinea started. For me, it was kind of like pre-9/11. I worked for Ocean Energy, but I could look in the cockpit, but I couldn't touch the controls. Then, after that, I was actually country manager for Russia at the time. Then, after that, much longer after that, it was probably only about 6 years ago, I was working for Lukoil, for a subdivision of Lukoil, overseas offshore projects, and for a Russian company called AFK Capital, who owned a couple of companies that had ultra-deep water blocks, K and M, in Equatorial Guinea, together with GEPETROL. At that time, I could touch the controls. And yeah, that's a lot of fun. But now I'm the board of director, well, a member of the board of directors at Geproc, and again, nobody will let me touch the controls. So it's kind of like your career goes in stages, if you know what I mean. I just got back from Equatorial Guinea together with Alexander Kayembe, together with Andre and a couple other people. We went over to have a meeting with the GEPETROL General Director. Jose was with us. We went to Malabo, then to Bata, and then to a place called Snakzomo. How is that, a C minus, or is that okay with the pronunciation? Why is that pertinent? It's pertinent if you ever make that kind of trip. The first thing you'll notice is infrastructure. The country of Equatorial Guinea really has invested in infrastructure, and that's important to you whether you're an operator, whether you're a service company, whether you're any other company that wants to get involved in Equatorial Guinea. So again, I'd like to welcome our old friends, our new friends, our soon-to-be friends. Hopefully tonight you'll learn a little bit about Equatorial Guinea. I see a lot of people out there that know more about Equatorial Guinea than I'll ever know. You'll learn a little bit about GEPETROL, I hope, who they are, and what they do and what they can do, whether you're an operator or a company that wants to become involved in Equatorial Guinea. Geproc is a joint venture that's 50% owned by GEPETROL, the state oil company of Equatorial Guinea, and 50% owned by a consortium. And the consortium consists of PetroAfrica, Emerald One Stop Shop here in Houston, and also a company called Africa Pipeline. And Africa Pipeline is actually a subdivision of a very old Italian company, Geproc. And so I think with that, I just again welcome. Hope you have a good time, and hope it's a little bit educational for everybody. So thank you.
Good evening. It is such a pleasure to be here. Let me first thank Ms. Scott for the gracious invitation to come. So I welcome you on behalf of the city. We hope that that you enjoy your stay. If you are not from the city, but if you may have seen something that you like, we welcome you and hope that this will become your city of choice, that you start to do business, and as we start fostering relationships. Ms. Scott has pointed out that I'm a former city council member, where our Honorable Mayor Sylvester Turner is now our mayor. He was the Honorable State Representative for District 139, which I'm running for. So what we're going to do is switch places. He's now in the city house, and I want to be in the state house. So we're going to make sure that we continue to foster relationships from the city to the state, but then we're going to reach out abroad and do business all across this great country and then all across this world, and hopefully more business in Equatorial Guinea. So thank you guys, and we certainly welcome you, and we hope you have a great time this evening. Thank you so much.
I have one more certificate to be presented to Mr. Alexy Kayembe. I have to put on my glasses. It says, in recent years, PetroAfrica was successfully exported its business model throughout many African countries. PetroAfrica is proud to be associated with initiatives and projects that lead towards greater implementation of the local content law within Angola, in particular, and Africa in general. We're grateful to you for extending an invitation to American companies to invest in Equatorial Guinea. Your impact and diligent efforts to elevate this country and our world are truly praiseworthy. Signed, Sheila Jackson Lee, Member of Congress.
Well, I'd like to thank Sheila and Alexy and the Geproc people for inviting me today to be able to speak to this amazing crowd with this amazing opportunity to be able to develop this new venture with these Houston-based companies and the EG-based companies, and to be able to develop something that's brand new. And I was lucky enough to meet Alexy several months ago. And one of the things I look for in investing in companies and in lending companies is really leadership, vision, solid management team, obviously a good capital structure. But no matter how much money you have, if you're not a good leader, if you're not a visionary, if you don't have a good team, you're not going to be successful. And you can give somebody, with the vision and the great leadership and the great skills that he has, and he could take something and create it. And I've seen so much growth that's occurred over the past several months, it's really, really phenomenal, and really one of the best companies I've been lucky enough to be associated with, and the rest of his team. So, Alexy, I'm going to have to congratulate you and the rest of the team. I want to thank everybody again. I appreciate it. Have a great evening.
Next up, we will be hearing from the chairman and CEO of Geproc, or the chairman of Geproc and the CEO of PetroAfrica. Now, Geproc, I should say, has inherited a visionary chairman who over the years has continued to hone himself and his companies in promoting local content, presence, especially in the oil and gas sectors in Africa. Alexy Kayembe is both Congolese and British. He graduated in accounting and finance from the University of East London in the UK. He has an MBA in leadership and sustainability from the University of Cambria, also in the UK. And he has professional training, and he's become a certified SAP, FICO, and business intelligence consultant focusing on oil and gas, automotive, and airline solutions. He's worked with the consulting firm HP Business Consulting for a number of years, dealing with finance and project systems of Delphi Automotive System in France, Germany, and Switzerland. He's also worked for Guinness and Air France in the UK for the implementation of SAP finance and controlling modules. In 2002, Alexy got certified as a SAP business intelligence consultant. He then joined another business consulting firm, IBM Business Solutions. He was involved in Total's UNISUP SAP project for its 4 African subsidiaries, including Angola, Congo, Nigeria, and Gabon. He's also advised various ministries of petroleum in Africa on the production sharing agreement. Having worked with consultant firms for about 10 years, he set up PetroAfrica with 2 petroleum consultants, part of his vision. Initially, he provided consulting services to the IOCs and service providers for project management, local content, compliance, and sustainability development. 2 years later, PetroAfrica expanded its activities beyond consultations and is now involved in procurement and supply of equipment, engineering services, consulting, and training. The company is working with all the major Angola oil-based operations such as Total, Chevron, BP, and others, and also now involved through its INU JV in Equatorial Guinea. In 2010, PetroAfrica opened an office in the Republic of Congo and DRC and Mozambique. And 2016, we have now seen the expansion into Equatorial Guinea. PetroAfrica's international CEO is involved in some social projects in association with local churches and NGOs. His work for the upliftment and independence of single mothers and underprivileged youths provides them with basic education, vocational and professional training, so they too will have entrepreneurial skills and access to jobs. That too is part of his vision and his mission. So here to tell you more about his journey and his projects, the chairman of Geproc, Alexy Kayembe.
Good evening. Thank you for sharing time, this momentous occasion with us. I'm honored tonight to be with you, both as the CEO of PetroAfrica and the chairman of newly born baby Geproc, which is the joint venture between GEPETROL, the national oil company of Equatorial Guinea, and the G3 consortium, which is part of PetroAfrica, Emara One-Stop Shop, and Africa International Piping. Together, these consortiums brings complementary core business skill set to the table, and they will effectively serve international and oil and gas company based in Equatorial Guinea. 10 years ago, I began PetroAfrica with a dream to shape the future of African energy industry, leading key global business collaboration while embracing local content and company to provide world-class oil field product and services. I'm very grateful for the foresight of those who create the very generous opportunity with the major oil and gas companies. The local content law provides opportunity as it helps foreign companies to award and contract local content companies who can provide quality services. It allows also a company like PetroAfrica to provide educated African talent projects run by major oil and gas companies, helping our local community and as well as local economy. Over 10 years, we have gained critical experience, create viable, effective, and profitable projects in collaborations with key operators and service providers working with the local content law in the country like Angola, Mozambique, Congo Republic, Democratic Republic Congo, AG, and now in the United States. As we began expanding into AG, we saw that an opportunity for growth in the energy industry existed. We decided and acted by bringing the most reliable and reputable local business partner possible into these projects. We didn't pick up any partner. We decided it would be critical for us to work with GEPETROL, which is the state-owned companies from Equatorial Guinea. As you know, GEPETROL owns its own blocks and share most of the oil block in the countries, as it presents the state of Equatorial Guinea. 6 months later, we found ourselves here in this evening celebrating Geproc venture, which was signed February 2016 by Mr. Antonio Buru, the CEO of GEPETROL, and myself. We are excited to present to you the new high-value opportunity of Geproc bringing to the energy industry, which is going to open the door for your organization to maximize the opportunity in Equatorial Guinea. Geproc business core focus will facilitate procurement, goods of services, logistics, engineering services, and training of personnel. Geproc will also provide comprehensive supply chain management solution for Equatorial Guinea oil and gas and other relevant sectors. As you know, there is a challenge that exists by doing business in Africa. Every country has different challenge. That challenge is most of the cases no compliance with local content in order to execute the project. So in order to be compliant and to fully access the energy market in Equatorial Guinea or any other part of Africa, you will need, especially for a service provider, a local partner who can work, who can be on the ground in order to facilitate the transactions. That's why we create also Geproc USA as an entity which will facilitate service provider and other companies who have problem to have access to the African market. Geproc strives to ensure the transfer of knowledge to promote growth and long-term sustainable development. Geproc can capitalize on its in-country status as it seeks to maximize local content within the oil and gas industry. The consortium comes with 40 years experience combined together in procurement of services, equipment, manufacturing, and piping in oil and gas. As tonight's remarks have been brief, please know that we are delighted to go into the detail when we meet after these discussions. If there's any question, we'll be happy to answer them after this event. And we thank you for taking your time and joining us tonight for celebration of the launch of Geproc. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for coming, and I really thank you for your time. I will just make it as comment, right? I remember a couple of months ago, when I started seeing Alexy coming to GEPETROL installation, I look at Adam, we are just met. It's so easy, when you bring it there, you come for investment, GEPETROL is the right the right local partner, the strong local partner to count with. GEPETROL is open for business, and for those that they cannot come to EG to invest or to realize their business, they can do it through Geproc by just getting partnership with Geproc and investing in EG. The situation is taken very serious now in EG, and we want to support our partner. We want to be in a situation where our local content win and where the partner win as well. This is a win-win situation. Thank you for your time, and that's it.
Thank you very much. First, Janine, I'm so proud of you and the work that you do to develop such strong business ties, first of all, between various countries on the African continent, so they do more business with one another, and also so they do more business with the United States of America. So we salute you and we thank you for that. I know that the hour is late, and I know that most of you all are still staying awake. At least you're waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning, so I'm not going to give the keynote address that I planned to give. I've had the privilege of going to Equatorial Guinea on 2 occasions, and I'm looking forward to going back again. I know that that was a very exciting program that was introduced tonight that will make it possible for more people to do business with EG, and also more businesses here to go to EG and help the people there and also help people here, because that really is what it's all about. I know that the minister could not make it, and I know that the Honorable Antonio Oburu Ondo could not make it. So if all protocols will be recognized, I'm going to present these 2 certificates to my dear friend, the Consul General Thomas Dickens, who hosted me when I was in Equatorial Guinea the first time, and the second time it was when he was in the private sector. He does a great job of representing the people of Equatorial Guinea here in Houston. Thomas, would you please join me here? Consul General Thomas Dickens. He knows how to show you a good time. For my friends who know me, you know I try and do some bicycle riding wherever I am in the world. And I bet you had never seen anybody as heavy as I am in spandex going up that hill on the backside of Malobo. But I did do it, and Thomas Dickens made that possible. But I want to make sure you take one. I want a picture with one of these with you. You know, when I was there the second time, I was the guest of your president, and he treated me so royally when I was there. So make sure we get that picture. Yeah. Show this one to the president. So I was invited there for the African Union, but the Texas legislature was in session, so I could not make it. But between you and Thomas and Janine, I'm looking forward to my next trip to Equatorial Guinea. Thank you very much, and have a great evening.
That concludes our program for this evening. I hope you've had a great learning experience, and I hope you've had a good time. Continue to enjoy your desserts and network, and we'll see you next year.
Well, this is a very impressive event. We start preparing this event for the last 10 days. You can see the audience was tremendous, and we hope that Mr. Antonio should be there, but he was busy with his heavy agenda. We believe that next year we'll do better than this. This is to do just promotion of the country, promotion of the oil and gas industry, to make sure that people know Equatorial Guinea, the beautiful opportunity the country provides for everybody. And I'm sure that everybody has enjoyed. So we're so happy and very, very proud. Yeah, I think the government demonstrates so far that it's supporting the business by putting in place the local content, which is the engine today to support and push for the local companies in Equatorial Guinea to go forward, to be competitive, to receive the transfer knowledge. So this is really things the government is doing so far. but it's up to us as an entrepreneur to push this message to bring other people to come and invest in Equatorial Guinea. Well, the message is that the business community, they love the country, they want to be part of its development. For the last 10 years, Equatorial Guinea has really developed. They have invested heavily in infrastructure, which is good things as the sign of a development of the country. You cannot develop a country without infrastructure, but what we've seen in the Guinea Equatorial is really impressive. The road is being built, bridges, school. This is a good sign that the money is well spent for the interest of the people of Guinea.
Hemos sido muy bien recibidos aquí en Houston y sobre todo hemos conseguido uno de nuestros principales objetivos, que es presentar nuestro interés de atraer empresas que quieren invertir en nuestro país. Nuestro interés de presentar Geproc como la nueva marca de GEPETROL para las futuras inversiones es un ejemplo. Geproc es incluso un ejemplo para todas las empresas que han estado aquí como nuestra audiencia, para que vean.